Okay, everyone, I'm back with my second part of my looking at my systems and kind of explaining them. Now, I showed you the Nintendo ones and, what I have in that room. Now, I want to show you some systems I have in here. Now, you might say to yourself, well, wait a minute. Does that look like an Xbox? Does that look like a PS2? Yes, it does. And you might notice in the corner that that's a Dreamcast. Now, let me explain this. For me personally, I bought most of these systems with my own money. Most of them that you see here, and the GameCube and the Wii that you see in there, and I think even the NES. I bought them with my own money. Well, actually, I got the NES for Christmas, my first Christmas out in Kansas. But these are my systems, and I got the Atari Flashback for Christmas as well. But anyway, what I'm saying is that I have a choice. I always like to put the newer games systems in my room because personally, I believe that the more you upgrade, the more they move around. I mean, for example, if I ever get, let's say, a PS3, the PlayStation 3 someday, then I'll probably be moving this thing over into that room as well. Maybe. It all depends on if they really go down in price, and it seems they are. But now, you might be asking yourself, why do I have these many? Well, first of all, let me explain these game systems first of all. This right here, of course, is the Dreamcast. Now, if I can move it out of here without messing a few things up, which apparently I am. I hate when I tangle things up. I hate that. Don't you? There we go. Still plugged in. Hold on. There we go. But this here is my Dreamcast, and like I mentioned, I bought this one on my own, and inside, of course, is Sonic Adventure, the game that came with it, or the game that helped introduce it. Now you might say to yourself, well, why do I have a Dreamcast? Well, believe it or not, it's for collector's reasons. I bought it actually. The thing is, I was living in Kansas at the time, and I always wanted to buy a Dreamcast. I always wanted to play the Dreamcast. But I never could afford it because when this thing came out, I think as many of you know, it was a very expensive game. Now, or game system. And I agree. But I ended up getting this for a good price. It plays fairly well at what we call a game exchange, or I think it's called game exchange or something like that. I can't remember. In Kansas, in the state of Kansas, which was actually across the street from me. But I bought this and I've enjoyed it. Now, the reason I don't have it plugged in right now is because I got a lot of other things plugged in. Go figure. Now, you might say to yourself, well, if you got the system, where's the controller? The controller's right here. Now, this thing here, I'm pretty sure a lot of other guys that have reviewed games have told you about it. Now, you might say, it looks a little familiar. It looks familiar. Well, you know what? It does look familiar, doesn't it? The control design? Because it looks just like an Xbox controller. Xbox 360 controller. Well, it's kind of ironic that it does. You know why? You know why it looks like that? I want you to take a look down here. Take a look at this. Read that, if you could read it. It says compatible with Microsoft Windows CE. So in other words, I believe, that's just my opinion, the same people that designed the Xbox helped design the Dreamcast. That's my opinion. That is my opinion. I'm just saying. Now, as far as the other systems goes, let's take a look at them. This one here I also bought at a game exchange, or I bought fairly used. But it works perfectly. It works well. As a matter of fact, I even tried it online one time, and it works great. In fact, this, along with the Dreamcast, are one of the first, and I think even with the GameCube, were the first ones to try a compatible online gaming. Now, sometimes they work, sometimes they didn't. The reason I say sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, is because with this sucker, you had to buy a special disc. You had to get a special disc to even go online. You had to use that disc to basically run the deal. But nowadays, you don't have to worry about that. Because with a system like, say, the Xbox 360, all you have to do is go online, and if you have the money, purchase a monthly membership, and you're online on the marketplace and everything else. That's how good that is. I mean, this here, I'll give it credit, really revolutionized. It's still one of the most popular systems today, still has games being sold for it, and everybody still plays it. This here, right now, from what I understand, along with the Wii, is the leader of the pack. Because there's a lot of features that this has that some other systems don't. For example, the PS2, only great feature about it, like with the Dreamcast here, was you were able to play online. That was it. And even chat online, that was it. But you had to use your controller here to chat online. Now, you might say to yourself, well, what's so different? Well, for some of you that have the Xbox 360 and have the PS3, what's different is that with the Xbox 360, you get a lot of things. You can go on your Xbox 360 and you go to a place called the Marketplace, and let's say you have a game like, say, one of my personal favorites, SmackDown vs. Raw. Let's say you have this game, and you hear that there's going to be downloadable content coming, or game add-ons. That is something you can do on the Xbox 360, and I believe on the PS3. You can add, and on the PS3 I should say, you can download for like certain points or certain dollars a pack of downloadable content. In other words, for example, in March, this game is going to get a few new wrestlers onto it and a few new alternate costumes for the characters. So, by going on there, you are able to download that, gets added onto the game. Another great feature about it, along with the PS3, is you got videos. You can watch music videos for certain points or dollars. You can watch certain movies for certain points or dollars. But there's a feature that the Xbox 360 has that PS3 I don't think has yet. You know what that is? The Xbox 360, if you're a Netflix subscriber, allows you to go on here and watch a Netflix movie. I mean, you can go online on the computer on Netflix.com, go to Watch Instantly, and find a movie, try to look for a movie, and if it's able to be watched instantly, you add it to your queue, you go on here on your Xbox 360, you turn it on, you go to your Netflix channel, and then there it is. You get a whole unlimited supply of movies. And that's one of the advantages that makes the Xbox 360 one of the best, if not top leading system right now. Now, you might ask yourself, why do I have these systems along with the systems in there? Well, let's just say, I know a lot of people could probably relate with me on this when I say, when you have family and you have a bunch of kids coming over and you need something to keep a bunch of kids busy sometimes, having video game systems, some people may say it's not the best idea, they should be out playing and all that, but to me, if you have a video game system, a variety of them, then that's the best choice. I mean, believe me, if you have a kid that's into Mario, the Wii, or the Nintendo systems, best choice. If you have a teenager that's into the Guitar Heroes, the Call of Duty games, the Halos and all that, then something like the Xbox 360 here, and the PS2s, and the PS3s, those are the best systems. In other words, you're allowing the kids and the family to have a choice in variety. Now, if you can't keep them busy with that, there's another thing to keep them busy. There's another way to keep them busy, and that is with this. Now, if they have one of these, which is a DS, if I can open it up here, if they have a DS, then that's okay. That'll keep them busy if they have a DS. Now, if they don't have a DS, then it's not going to keep them busy. Then and if they want to play one, let them play yours. And if they don't have a game that they want to play on their collection and you have it, let them play it. And the same goes for the Game Boy Advance. But anyway, that is why I have these game systems. It keeps, because like I said, a lot of people can relate with me, I'm pretty sure. It keeps the kids busy, especially if it's raining and all that, and you have a family get-together, it keeps them busy. And it entertains the family in the case of something like the Wii. But that's all I could say about my video game systems and my reviews on them and why I have them and why I believe other people are in the same boat as I am sometimes. So if you got any comments, just leave them and I will get back to you later.